The last time was in the old Chicago Stadium that the Knicks won in May 5th of '92. That's with Michael in the lineup. And just to complete the whole thought, the last time New York won here in Chicago was the last game in regular season played in the old Chicago Stadium just across the street on Madison. Ewing and Longley tip it off. Chris Childs has it for the New York Knicks
tonight.
Chicago, in losing to Houston on Sunday, shot less than 40%. Jordan gets his first of the night in the first half.
Yeah, but Jeff Van Gundy said something funny. He said, if we do turn the ball over, when we turn over, let's hope we throw the ball in the stands. That way they can't score on our turnovers. We can live with that.
In their win yesterday at home, an afternoon game at the Garden against Washington, they only turned it over 13 times. Now Jordan again.
Well, it's part of just being new. They're going to turn the ball over some more. They want to hope.
He expects to be back Sunday at home against Miami. Here's Jordan posting up again.
That's the downfall of Chris Childs guarding Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is just bigger. He's stronger. He can jump higher. And on the post, Chris Childs needs help. But the Bulls don't like giving help. So he's probably going to be down there by himself most of the night.
Because of a hamstring. Here's Jordan back to the line again.
I guess I should have said the much maligned Larry Johnson. His point production is way down from his career averages. But Larry Johnson, the Knicks are very happy with him. They say he's playing great defense. He's become one of their better defensive players.
Well, it is alarming, though, Doc. If you look at his statistics in almost every category, they are reduced from his years in Charlotte. Chance for the Chicago Bulls to get their first lead of the night now. Ewing knocks it right back into the hands of Mr. Jordan.
Good defense, bad luck.
That's 3 turnovers for New York in their last 5 possessions. Here's Jordan. Jordan and Pippen have scored all of the Chicago points. Head to Sacramento. Then on Friday, these same New York Knicks are in Charlotte. And a week from tonight, Doc and I will be in Milwaukee as the Detroit Pistons take on the Milwaukee Bucks. How about the performance of Grant Hill in double overtime in Los Angeles Sunday?
I tell you what, he's making shot after shot. He has taken his game to another level. And I think you can mention him this year right now as an MVP candidate. Usually the only guy you should consider is Michael Jordan, but Grant Hill is making a true run at the MVP this season.
Triple-double, and I mean, it was an authoritative triple-double.
Yeah, it was a loud one. It was a loud. I heard it in San Antonio. That's probably why Van Gundy wanted them to shoot so quickly. It limits their chances of turnovers.
5 turnovers in the last 8 possessions, and the period at the end of the paragraph is a 3-point basket from Michael Jordan.
Or harder defense on a quicker guy.
Jason Caffey off the dribble finds Jordan. 20 points for Jordan. 6:45 to go in the first half. 40-35. It's a 5-point game. Here's Steve Kerr, guarded by Charlie Ward. Jordan. Now Larry Johnson with the switch.
I tell you, he's feeling it. You can see his face. He's getting that, I don't know if you call it arrogant or cocky face on him, and that bothers anybody.
Wennington. Jordan with a spin move finds Kerr for a quick 3.
And that's the other guy.
Yep. I was laughing with Spike Lee. The last time he was here in the United Center was in the playoffs last year. He flew all the way from Cannes, France, the film festival, to come watch. He said, yeah, I know. It was a very expensive, quick visit to Chicago.
And it was a disappointing visit. I can guarantee you that. I don't even have to look it up. I know it was a disappointing visit.
Well, and he pounded on somebody else for tickets tonight, because last year he got Gene Siskel's tickets.
Yeah, and Spike Lee, you know, you see a lot of celebrities at basketball games. Spike Lee.
Back to Pippen. They'll settle it down. Jordan off the dribble. My, oh, my. And Pippen for the Bulls. Jordan for the Bulls. Here's Randy Brown. He got the start tonight. Here's Jordan. Nobody there to guard him.
Oh, wow. What?
Nobody.
Oh, what a breakdown. Of all the guys on the court that you can't lose, yeah, that's just when everything goes wrong. He gets a point-blank layup and misses it.
At the other end, Jordan makes him pay.
They need somebody else, and if Allen Houston's going to struggle, you need Larry Johnson to get it off offensively.
Childs back on Jordan. Jordan has 34.
Yeah, and that's a quick shot by Patrick Ewing. Exactly what the Knicks want. They got to quicken their offense, and they went to Patrick Ewing. With Bill Wennington on them, you got to keep going there. And with Chris Childs on Michael Jordan.
And another turnover. That's 14. Randy Brown kicks it out to Jordan for 3.
Another wide open shot for Michael Jordan. He's scoring a ton of points, and he's not having to work very hard for him. You're not going to win a lot of basketball games giving Michael Jordan easy shots.
Michael Jordan has led the way to an 18-4 Chicago run. 39 points for number 23. For the game. Loose ball. Caffey dives for it. Wennington picks it up. Here comes Jordan. Johnson picks him up defensively. Michael goes for 41.
And he knew it was in right when it left his hand. And again, that's on a quick.
Williams off-balance shot. Jordan with another rebound.
And that's not the shot you want Buck Williams shooting. I think he felt he got pushed a little bit.
Michael Jordan with the assist, and then he glanced over at the New York bench at Jeff Van Gundy.
I mean, you look at it, he's doing everything right now. He sees the court, he's feeling it. But when a guy's that wide open, Burton, you could have made that one. I'm pretty sure of it.
Almost 2 years ago in the 5th game of his famed return to basketball, Michael Jordan visited Madison Square Garden and his usual nemesis, John Starks. It was an unforgettable performance, an evening Starks would rather forget.
Double team. Oakley gets there too late. Oh, and did you ask, is he back?
But on the game's final possession, Jordan with an assist to Bill Wennington. 55 points that day for Michael Jordan.
That was outstanding.
You're a pretty good buddy of John Starks, right?
Yeah, I am. It was funny. I watched that game. I was with the Spurs at the time. And John Starks called me from the locker room right after that game and he said, did you see it? And I said, yeah. He said he got me.
50 against Miami.
It just seems like somehow the Knicks have to be involved.
108.
Yeah, Dave Cowens has done a masterful job. Everyone. The Bulls get to all the loose balls. They get to them before their guys do, and that's hurting their team, and that one was the big one.
Jordan. Shooters roll. And they'll spread it out. Caffey off the screen set by Jordan. Allen Houston guards him. Michael, 3 moves and a basket. And this time he glances at you.
Yeah, he should. He should glance at all of us. We call that being put in a blender.
Jimmy Clark's not going to do it. Here was Jordan.
Oh, I mean, the move was great, and as a defender, there's really not much you can do. Now, Jeff Van Gundy is bringing, that helps tremendously.
Ewing's first bucket in the 4th quarter. 1:10 to go. Jordan in the post over Houston.
Oh, golly. And they said he wasn't going to get the shots.
Houston picks up Jordan. Jordan with 49. Jordan now has 51. And he is screaming at Jeff Van Gundy.
And he's feeling it. He was not going to pass that ball. He had every intention of shooting it. Guys on the Bulls are running around. He never even looked. That was his shot all the way.
Phil Jackson told Dick Versace before the game in the locker room that Michael Jordan was upset with some comments Van Gundy had made because Jeff Van Gundy had said Jordan, with his friendships with other players around the league, lulls them into a false feeling of friendship and then strikes like a viper.
Well, he's a snake right now, I'll tell you that.
You feel that's the case, that sometimes guys want to be his friend a little too much?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I, as a player, you don't want to talk to guys, and I think Michael Jordan does a great job of that. I think Isaiah Thomas did a great job. I think Magic Johnson did a great job. You low guy. The problem with going with that theory is you're going against the best player probably in NBA history.
At the buzzer, the basket goes, but here's a surprise. Michael Jordan has been selected as our Bud Light player of the game.
Mike, did they tug on Superman's cape today?
Well, I felt a good rhythm tonight offensively, and you know, we didn't really have a great rhythm tonight, and you know, times I just had to use my athletic ability and take one-on-one a lot of times, and I was able to make some big shots.
What was going on? I talked to Phil before the game, and he said Mike might get 45 or 50 tonight. How come he predicted that?
Well, I know we were coming off a you know, embarrassing loss against Houston, and you know, we were coming back facing a team that you know, really has given us troubles over the last couple of years, and you know, I just felt psyched up for the game, and you know, I came in with a lot of motivation to get back on the winning track and play my heart out.
Yeah, I noticed on the last basket you took a hard look at the Knick bench.
I did.
Thanks, Mike. All right, back to Vernon, Doc.